this goes up there with some of the better quarterback rooms we've seen. We've had the pleasure of seeing some really nice quarterback rooms in the past, but this one is about as stacked as it gets. Any quick thoughts before we dig deeper into these guys, Rick?
I mean, we're just blessed. There's a number of programs. Their quarterback goes down, they're just totally a different team. Take a look at Oregon State. It actually worked out for them, but there's a number of programs that if their quarterback goes down, they're in a world of hurt. And you take a look at us. Miller Moss is just an amazing young man, and he's waiting his time. And hopefully, he's going to get the opportunity this year. And this is what's going to be key, I think, with this team this year, is that Lincoln Riley is going to have to balance Caleb's playing time, because number one, you want to keep him fresh, you want to keep him healthy, you want to keep him upright. And the way the schedule plays out, the first 6 games, very manageable. The last 6 games and any games after that USC is fortunate enough to play in are going to be a very big challenge. So you want to rest up Caleb Williams. You want to get Miller Moss some reps, because God forbid something happens to Caleb Williams and he goes down. You want to have Miller Moss getting some reps before the meat of that schedule. And he's capable, and he's going to be in the system for another year. But hey, you got a Heisman Trophy winner back there who's already said he set goals for 5,000 yards passing, 60 TDs. So how do you balance that for the betterment of the team? Because it's building blocks, right? You to reach your goal, you're going to have to manage playing time, injury, making sure you get a lot of reps for not only the quarterbacks, but all the different rooms, to show growth, to provide depth, to create confidence. But that's just a take there. What do you think about the quarterback room and what Lincoln Riley has ahead of him?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that Caleb's goals, which are lofty and amazing, and you said no interceptions, right? Which are all, that's why I like the guy. He's like, yeah. He said, hey, this is what I'm going to try to do. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do that for a number of reasons. One, like we just discussed last week about the defense. I think his defense can be greatly improved. So we're not going to be getting in 40 to 43, 42 shootouts this year. I do like what you said about the early part of the season. Maybe if this team gels together like we hope and think it's going to, that we will have those opportunities in the second half, fourth quarter for Miller Moss, to get a little bit of practice, right? That's going to be really important, because as we saw with Caleb going down, it would have, to Tony's chagrin, that they didn't bring in Miller Moss. This is no knock on Miller Moss at all, but you have Caleb Williams. But we do need to have an opportunity if we're in a close game like that, conference championship, the Pac-12 championship game, and you pull up with a hamstring, in the second drive of the game. I want to have a guy, because we know that Miller Moss. All last year, I heard Lincoln Riley talk about how great, what a great quarterback he is, how he's picking up the system, doing a great job, etc. I know he's more than capable. He just needs to get that real game experience. And I'm thinking that the first 6 games line up pretty well for him to be able to do that. It's been a problem with the Trojans, for quite a while, that they just don't get their backups in because they're always in these close games. I think that's obviously a product of how poor our defense has been. But as our defense is improving, I think that there's going to be a lot more opportunity for these backups to get in the game. And one of those definitely will be Miller Moss. And then the last guy is Los Alamitos freshman, Gatorade Player of the Year, Malachi Nelson. Apparently, I can't remember. I'm so bad with the memory on this, but I listen to so many podcasts and I read so many articles. But they say he looked all of 6'4", and he looks big. He looks the part. He's filling out. A lot of these guys are going to get older and start shedding that high school body. He's got the arm. He has the resume from the season. I watched him again. I'm going back to his junior year when he played the playoffs against St. John Bosco at St. John Bosco, and he and Lemon just put on a show. They're like a two-man team. And it was really amazing just to watch with a really good Bosco defense, how he was just, those two were hooking up play after play and trying to fight for a win. They came up short, but I think he's going to have a little bit more talent around him at USC than he had with the Griffins at Los Alamitos. What do you think, Rick?
Yeah, and you made a great point too, Tim, about Caleb getting hurt in the championship game, and yeah, I had a brain fart there. It would have been helpful if Miller Moss, I was talking about other, we're fortunate to have these great quarterbacks, but yeah, Caleb had an injury there, and unfortunately, there wasn't an opportunity at that time for Miller Moss to come in, and because Caleb wanted to stay in, but you have to have some reps for Miller Moss. I think with Malachi Nelson, this kid, looking forward to his career. He just came off, I believe, of labrum surgery, so I don't know how many reps, if anything. He's they're going to be watching him during spring ball. But this kid's got a ton of talent. He's the heir apparent to Caleb Williams when he does leave, and so it's going to take him time to learn the system. But like you're right, I mean, he's got some experience playing at LaSalle in a spread offense, Makai Lemon, and he's been very close to the program. He visited USC several times. He's an early enrollee, so you love to see that. So there's nothing but upside for Malachi Nelson. And as we talked about earlier in the podcast, is possibility of getting Dylan Raiola. So USC used to be running back U. It's turning into QBU. And I know that Ohio State has an argument there, but hey, USC, the future looks bright from the quarterback position. It'll be very exciting to see in the next several years.
Just really quickly, Joe, if UCLA had left, where were they going to go? UCLA, the Big Ten wasn't picking up UCLA by itself. It wasn't like UCLA was going to go and USC was going to be left behind. I'm not sure where you're getting your information, but that was like a 0% chance of that one happening. 0% chance of that happening.
Well, let's give Joe the benefit of the doubt. It is basketball season, and so he's got his baby blue Bruin and powder yellow, basketball mind going. But football drives the bus. USC drives Southern California, the West Coast, and we'll be back on top of the nation once in a very short order here.